Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books. Let's get started.
Sounds good.
Today we're diving deep into Tom Clancy's Defense Protocol,
Okay.
a spy novel.
Yeah.
That throws you right into a world of international intrigue and a potential conflict between the U.S. and China.
Oh, absolutely. Right away, Clancy sets the stage with Chinese President Lui,
Okay.
who is determined to reunite Taiwan with mainland China no matter the cost.
Oh, wow.
His aggressive ambition is really what drives the initial tension in the story.
Yeah, it definitely creates a sense of urgency, right? And then, boom, the Chinese Foreign Minister, Chiang Kai,
Right.
disappears without a trace just days before a crucial diplomatic summit.
Yeah.
What'd you make of that?
It's a total power move, you know?
Yeah.
It throws everything into chaos,
Yeah.
and you can practically feel the shockwaves hitting the international community.
Right.
It makes you question everything.
Yeah.
Is it a political purge,
Uh-huh.
a defection?
Right.
Clancy keeps us guessing.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so gripping.
And amidst all this uncertainty, Admiral Chin Hayu
Right.
is suddenly promoted to defense minister.
Right.
He's now in charge of Operation Sea Serpent,
Yeah.
the plan to invade Taiwan.
Uh-huh.
But it seems like he's wrestling with his conscience a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We see this internal conflict play out as he grapples with the potential devastation of war.
Right.
Clancy uses this really powerful visual detail.
Okay.
The empty chair at meetings that used to belong to Chiang Kai.
Oh, yeah.
It's a constant reminder of the danger Chin faces if he goes against President Lui.
Yeah.
And it adds this layer of suspense to every scene he's in.
Yeah, it definitely makes you wonder if he'll follow orders or follow his conscience.
Right.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the world,
Uh-huh.
we're introduced to Katie Ryan,
Okay.
a rising star at the Office of Naval Intelligence.
Right.
She's tasked with investigating Chang's disappearance and uncovering China's true intentions.
Katie's a fascinating character, yeah.
Yeah.
She's already proven herself by successfully handling a rogue Russian submarine incident.
Oh, wow.
So she's not someone to be underestimated.
No.
She's smart,
Right.
resourceful, and determined to get to the bottom of this mystery.
It feels like she's walking a tightrope.
Yeah.
She's got to navigate the complexities of international politics
Uh-huh.
and intelligence gathering
Right.
while trying to prevent a war.
Yeah.
The stakes couldn't be higher.
Exactly. And as the story unfolds, we see her piecing together the puzzle, connecting the dots between Cheng's disappearance and China's military buildup.
Okay.
Her investigation adds another layer of intrigue to the narrative.
Okay, so we've got rising tension,
Uh-huh.
a missing diplomat,
Right.
and a conflicted admiral.
Yeah.
Then Clancy throws us into the shadowy world of espionage.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about Chin's risky meeting with American diplomat Scott Kincaid.
So this is where Clancy really ratchets up the suspense.
Okay.
Shin knows he can't trust anyone within his own government.
Right.
So he arranges this clandestine meeting with Kincaid,
Uh-huh.
using an antique as a cover for a coded message,
Oh, wow.
signaling his potential defection.
Like something straight out of a spy movie.
It is,
A
yeah.
coded message hidden in plain sight.
Right.
What did you think of Clancy's use of espionage tradecraft here?
I think it adds an element of realism to the story.
Okay.
Clancy is known for his meticulous research and attention to detail.
Right.
And this scene is a great example of that.
Yeah.
It gives us a glimpse into the world of intelligence gathering and the risks involved in operating undercover.
Speaking of undercover operatives, we can't forget about Keeley,
Yeah.
the CIA's night spider.
Right.
This woman has been operating in Beijing for years.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about living life on the edge.
The Night Spider is one of my favorite characters in the book.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She's a master of disguise,
Okay.
a skilled fighter,
Uh-huh.
and she's built this incredible network of safe houses,
Wow.
contacts, and dead drops that allows her to operate undetected in one of the most surveilled countries in the world.
It makes you wonder what kind of person can thrive in that kind of environment.
Right.
The constant pressure,
Yeah.
the ever-present threat of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
It must take incredible strength and resilience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her so compelling.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
not just a spy.
Right.
She's a survivor.
Yeah.
And her role in this story becomes even more crucial as she's tasked with helping Qin escape from Beijing.
Talk about a high-stakes mission.
Yeah.
And things go sideways quickly when their meeting is ambushed by the Chinese Ministry of State Security.
Oh, this is where the action really kicks in.
Oh, yeah.
Clancy writes these incredibly tense escape scenes
Right.
with narrow escapes,
Uh-huh.
car chases,
Yeah.
and shootouts.
Wow.
It's like watching a blockbuster movie unfold.
And in the chaos, we see just how deep the Night Spider's network runs.
Yes.
Even the taxi driver is part of her operation.
Yeah.
ready to help them evade capture.
I know, it's incredible.
It highlights her incredible level of preparedness and resourcefulness.
Right. It shows that she's always thinking several steps ahead,
Right?
anticipating threats and planning for every contingency.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing, too, because the MSS is relentless in their pursuit.
So Chin and Lei are on the run.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. is trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
And President Lei is getting ready to launch his invasion.
The tension is mounting, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels like a powder peg waiting to explode.
Yeah.
Clancy masterfully weaves these different plot lines together,
Right.
creating a sense of urgency and suspense that keeps you hooked. And to add fuel to the fire, President Ryan decides to send the USS Jason Dunham, a guided missile destroyer, through the Taiwan Strait.
Oh, wow.
It's a bold move that could either deter China or provoke a full-blown conflict.
What a gamble. What do you think was going through Ryan's head at that moment?
Well, he's in a tough spot.
Yeah.
He has to project strength and support Taiwan, but he also wants to avoid a war.
Right?
Sending the Dunham is a calculated risk,
Yeah.
a message to Beijing that the U.S. won't back down.
It's almost like a game of chicken, with the stakes incredibly high.
Right.
Yeah. But what I found really fascinating was how Clancy contrasted the grand geopolitical maneuvering with the personal stories of the characters caught in the middle.
Exactly. You have Chin and Lei relying on the Night Spiders network to stay hidden. Imagine the constant fear of being caught, the paranoia of every shadow, every footstep.
Yeah.
Clancy doesn't shy away from the human cost of this conflict.
It's a reminder that behind these political decisions are real people whose lives are on the line.
Right.
We also see Katie Ryan grappling with the weight of her responsibility.
Uh-huh.
She's not just analyzing data, she's trying to prevent a war.
And she's facing obstacles at every turn.
Yeah.
She's dealing with bureaucratic roadblocks, conflicting intelligence reports, and the pressure of knowing that time is running out.
But she's persistent. She's not afraid to challenge assumptions or push back against those who underestimate her.
Exactly. And that determination leads her to uncover a chilling piece of information.
Okay.
The Chinese are planning a false flag operation.
Wait, a false flag. Can you remind us what that means?
Sure. A false flag operation is a covert operation designed to deceive people into thinking that it was carried out by another entity.
Okay.
In this case, the Chinese are planning to sabotage a missile site on Waiyu Island and make it look like Taiwan was responsible.
So basically, they're trying to manufacture a reason to invade Taiwan.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
It's a cynical and ruthless plan, and it shows just how far President Lee is willing to go to achieve his goals.
It's chilling to think about.
Yeah.
And while all this is happening, Clark and his team from Task Force 99 are preparing for their mission to extract Chin and the Night Spider. What did you make of this parallel plotline?
I thought it was a brilliant way to increase the tension.
Right.
You have these highly trained operatives infiltrating China,
Yeah.
facing constant danger while the political situation is teetering on the brink of war.
It's like two sides of the same coin.
Right.
The covert operations happening alongside the diplomatic efforts.
Uh-huh.
Each team is working towards the same goal, preventing a war,
Yeah.
but they're facing incredibly different challenges.
And Clancy doesn't pull any punches when it comes to the risks involved.
Right.
One of Clark's team members is detained at the airport in Beijing,
Oh, no.
which underscores the constant threat they face.
It's a reminder that even the most carefully planned missions can go wrong.
Yeah.
And the stakes are so high. They're not just risking their own lives, they're risking the lives of Chin and Lai.
And the success of their mission could determine the fate of millions.
Wow.
Clancy does a masterful job of weaving these storylines together,
Yeah.
building suspense with each chapter.
The tension is palpable.
It is.
We know the Chinese are planning this false flag operation, but will they be able to pull it off? Will Clark and his team reach Chin and Lai in time? Will the Dunham survive its passage through the Taiwan Strait?
And just when you think things can't get any more intense,
Yeah.
Clancy throws in another twist.
Oh, wow.
Secretary General Xu Chao, who helped Chin and Lei escape,
Right.
decides to take matters into his own hands.
So there's someone within the Chinese government who sees the danger in Lai's actions.
Yes, Xu understands that a war with the U.S. would be disastrous for China.
Okay.
He's a voice of reason amidst all the warmongering.
But he's in a precarious position. Speaking out against Lai could cost him his life.
Absolutely. But he's willing to take that risk. He knows that the fate of millions hangs in the balance, so he makes a daring decision.
What does he do?
He reaches out to President Ryan directly.
Wow.
He reveals Lai's plans for the false flag operation, everything.
Oh, wow.
It's a stunning act of betrayal, but also an act of incredible courage.
So he's betting on Ryan to use this information wisely. What happens next?
Well, Ryan is initially skeptical, of course.
Right.
But the evidence Sue provides is too compelling to ignore.
Yeah.
And with this newfound knowledge,
Uh-huh.
Ryan is able to outmaneuver Lei and expose his treachery to the world.
That's a huge turning point.
It is.
Lee's plans are out in the open, but does that mean the danger is over? Are Kin and Lei safe? It feels like a moment of truth. Lee's deception is revealed, but there's still this looming threat of war. What happens next?
Well, even with Lee exposed, the situation is far from resolved. Remember those saboteurs on Waiyu Island?
Right.
They managed to launch 2 missiles before being stopped by a SEAL team.
Oh, wow. So they actually fired the missiles. That's terrifyingly close to a full-blown conflict.
It is, and it highlights the chaos and confusion of the situation. The missiles narrowly missed the Nanchang,
Oh, wow.
the Chinese cruiser that's shadowing the Dunham. It's a heart-stopping moment
Yeah.
that could have easily escalated into a full-blown war.
So the missiles are stopped, but the danger is still very real.
Right.
What about Clark, Quinn, and Lei? Are they any closer to safety?
They're racing against time to reach the extraction point at the Tianjin port where the South Korean cargo ship, the Capella, is waiting.
Okay.
But it's a treacherous journey. They're constantly on the move, dodging roadblocks and surveillance, trying to stay one step ahead of the MSS.
I can only imagine the tension. Every encounter, every checkpoint could be their last. It must feel like the walls are closing in.
And to make matters worse, President Lei, realizing his plans have been exposed, orders the MSS to capture Chin and Lei at all costs. He's determined to silence them before they can reveal any more damaging information.
So it's a desperate fight for survival, not just for Kin and Lei, but also for Clark and his team. They're outnumbered, outgunned, and deep inside enemy territory. What happens next?
This is where Clancy's talent for writing action-packed sequences really shines. We get this incredible escape scene at the Tianjin port with a shootout car chase and a daring escape onto the Capella's edge-of-your-seat stuff.
The Night Spider must have been invaluable in that situation, using her knowledge of the city and her network of contacts to outmaneuver the MSS.
Absolutely. She's a key player in their escape. Her quick thinking and resourcefulness prove essential time and time again.
What about the Dunham? What happens with the standoff in the Taiwan Strait?
This is where Katie Ryan's intelligence gathering proves crucial. She's able to convince Captain Kreitz of the Dunham that the missile launch was a false flag operation and that the Chinese cruiser Nanchang was deliberately placed in harm's way.
So she essentially exposes Lee's plan to the Chinese themselves.
Yes,
That's incredibly risky.
it is, but it works. Captain Shen of the Nanchang realizes he's been manipulated,
Wow.
and he makes the decision to stand down. He refuses to be a pawn in Lee's game, choosing peace over blind obedience.
It's a powerful moment, a testament to the idea that even in the midst of conflict, reason can prevail.
Yeah.
So the Dunham is safe, Chin and Lei escape on the Capella, and Lee's plan is foiled. Does that mean the story ends with a sigh of relief?
Not quite. Clancy reminds us that even when a crisis is averted, there are always consequences. There are casualties on both sides, a reminder of the human cost of these events.
And what becomes of President Light? Is he held accountable for his actions?
Clancy leaves that open to interpretation. We know he's discredited, but whether he faces any real repercussions is unclear. It's a reminder that in the world of international politics, justice isn't always black and white.
So Defense Protocol ends not with a triumphant victory, but with a sense of reflection, a sobering reminder of the complexities of war and the fragility of peace. What's your final takeaway from the book?
I think Clancy masterfully blends action and intrigue with thoughtful exploration of geopolitics and the human condition. He challenges us to consider the consequences of our actions and the importance of clear-headed leadership in times of crisis.
It's definitely a book that stays with you long after you finish reading it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Defense Protocol. It's been a thrilling ride.
It certainly has.
Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, spread the word.